It is the RIOT podcast. Hello. Hudson here. Nikki on board as well.
I'm here.
And
I'm on the ship.
Yes. We're ready to set sail with Mike Maines.
When you were doing, you guys only hear our podcast, which is part of our show. Mm-hmm. But when Hudson was doing traffic for this morning for the other part of our show, you said smooth sailing, I think, a few times. And I just was thinking, gosh, what if we had to do sail reports in our traffic and stuff too? It'd be just a whole another layer to it.
If we move to the Maritimes or something, we could
had to worry about that.
Yeah. You know what? I think I could put up with doing the
sail report.
Yeah, the high tide and low tide and everything. If we got to live in a ocean resort somewhere.
Well, I could just hear you saying, well, at the harbor, there's a backup. It's slow down going through the bridge.
You're going to want to, divert the yacht to another location.
Yeah, it's slow going through there, but that's fine.
I think it would be worth a shot.
Just to try.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
But I'm bad enough at doing the regular traffic. I cannot wait. I'm going to hand it off here.
To Isaiah?
I don't know if you heard in the podcast yesterday, but we have a new producer.
Yay.
And he's going to be taking over a lot of the stuff that we don't want to do anymore.
That we just can't. Be really good. Maybe we're not the best at. And just it'd be nice to have another voice that you guys get to hear.
Yeah.
So you'll hear more from Isaiah next week. The main part of this podcast is Mike from Mike Maines and the Branches.
Yes.
We catch up with him, what he's doing. They're back to touring, all that fun stuff.
Yes, they're out on the road. So you get to hear what he's been up to and what they have in the works. We also have Nikki and I getting caught up on what's new on Netflix next month because we admitted we haven't been making the most of our subscriptions.
You're right.
And so we're going to make sure we keep up with that. We also talk about an unwelcomed guest, some would say, at the Olympics. And welcome to Nikki.
Welcome to me.
We have a Mosquito Tornado.
Unwelcome.
And we have Fruity Pebble ice cream.
Very much welcome.
Yeah. Might be the first ever ice cream food fight.
Hey, you know what? Let's send Isaiah next week for that.
Yeah, I'll see if we can find that. Wait, we've got quite the list for him.
We do. So thanks so much for listening to the podcast. As always, if you're subscribed, thank you so much. Leave a review. It even helps just to push us by unsubscribing and subscribing again.
Yep,
or subscribe for the first time and let us know, hopefully, how much you're enjoying the podcast.
Yep, and of course, leave a nice 5-star rating and a review to go with it to help everyone know.
For our sale report.
For our sale, yes. Coming up, you're going to want to watch out. It's going to be a little choppy out there. That's whenever it's choppy, that's when you know.
You got to worry.
Don't want to go out on that day.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Talk to you later.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
So over in Indonesia, a man, he got caught trying to fly even though he was COVID positive. Now, of course, we all know that's a problem. But wherever he was trying to go, he was very adamant about doing it.
So it wasn't going to stop him even though he had a positive test?
Yep, he had to find a way around it, and that is he disguised himself as his wife.
Oh, was she not flying with him?
I guess I'm curious about that. He was like, you know what, honey, just stay behind.
You wait here.
You wait here. We'll come back and get you a new plane ticket.
And he wore clothes to look like her too.
Yep, exactly. He dressed up
and the ID card.
Yep, and because of I guess the way they would dress in Indonesia, that basically he was entirely covered, so it wasn't like he put on a wig and lipstick like Bugs Bunny, in a Looney Tunes cartoon. He's just basically entirely covered. It actually worked. He used her ID. He got onto the plane.
Oh, no.
And then...
Did he give himself up?
Halfway through, he gave up the ruse. In mid-flight.
He panicked.
Yeah. Or maybe he was just uncomfortable.
Well, yeah.
Do you think?
Dressed in the outfit.
Maybe he just didn't like what he was wearing, and so he's like, I can't do this anymore. It's not worth it. And he was already on the plane. He's like, what are they going to do?
The flight attendant saw him go into the plane. They're just calling him DW. Isn't that from the one show?
Arthur, yeah.
Don't you do a DW?
Yeah. Mom!
The show?
Arthur hit me! It's not really a DW. It's just a high, shrill voice.
It's a noise with it.
Maybe he was doing the DW voice.
Well, he went into the bathroom, and then he came came out. Oh, so that's what he did. He went into the bathroom. He changed then because he didn't want to wear the clothes the whole time.
Yep.
So he came back out wearing his clothes instead of his wife's. And at that point, she noticed, and then she notified authorities who did another test with him.
Wait, did they? I guess they just noticed that he wasn't actually a woman, so he must be hiding something.
It wasn't the same person going in as it was coming out, and I don't think they had taken off, though they were all boarded on the plane. So they contacted the airport, and the COVID-19 handling task force came to evacuate him.
Ooh, the task force. So watch out for that. Man, he was so close.
I don't know why he just didn't stay. Well, I mean, you don't want him to.
I guess. Why are we like rooting for this guy? Come on.
Wrong.
You could have done it. You would have been an inspiration to all of us trying to figure out how to fly COVID positive.
I just want to know more details because it seemed like since his wife had the negative test and her ID and the clothes were there, I think he left her in the airport.
Right. Well, maybe. I guess if they were flying from their home to wherever they were going, then it wouldn't be so bad to leave her behind.
It is, Hudson. It is bad. It's not that it's not so bad. Well, it is bad.
Maybe it was a trip. I'm going to defend him.
No.
Maybe it was a trip to see his family.
No.
And so his wife was like, oh, just go. I don't even want to. This is my escape right here.
I don't think, or maybe they didn't even come to the airport together, maybe at home when they found that he had the positive test. But
right.
I think it's all wrong. It's not good.
Well, it is all wrong. From abandoning your wife to
stealing her clothes
to
and
try
her ID.
to give everybody on the plane COVID. He did a lot of wrong things. We shouldn't be sticking up for him.
Come on, DW.
Yeah, come on.
Hey, it could be worse. Oh, wait. The worst of the Riot podcast.
We tend to shy away from ice cream food fights here because you don't want to have ice cream for breakfast.
Well, we do, but will you guys judge us?
But it's not right. I mean, Cheetos, Pringles,
all the soda,
Krispy Kreme donuts, soda, Twinkies, and all this kind of stuff. That's one thing.
This might actually end up being healthier.
Yeah.
than some of the other stuff we've had.
That's what they're claiming, that Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles ice cream is actually going to be healthier than it's a light ice cream.
Okay.
So it's healthier than your standard ice cream.
Why do they say that?
Because it's made with real light cereal milk. So
okay. So cereal milk.
Yeah. So it's going to have less fat in it, I guess. So like if you were... maybe they're doing it with skim or 1% when they're making this up.
But because it's got all the cereal leftover stuff,
right.
like
it still
it's all
has enough sugar and flavor. Yeah, the sugar is just not fat, so it's okay.
Fine. So the Fruity Pebbles ice cream, that's in honor of like their 50th birthday celebration. So if you see a lot of Fruity Pebbles stuff in the next few months, that's why they're doing everything.
What do you like better, Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles?
I think maybe for ice cream, I might like Fruity Pebbles.
You think for ice?
Yeah, but as cereal, I think I would like Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really like the Fruity Pebbles are underrated. Yeah.
Well, do you want to try this? Are we going to add it to the list?
I mean, it's breakfast, so it's totally fine, right?
It's great. It's milk. It's cereal.
And it's only, what? Okay, you can only get the Cocoa Pebbles in a bigger container like your standard ice cream size, and that's $5.99, which is a lot.
Yeah.
You find that one on sale.
Well, but it's a food fight. You're just going to have to pay the premium price.
That's true. But then for the Fruity Pebbles one, they also have it in the 14-ounce container, which is obviously like more. That's an individual serving.
A personal serving. We got to get two of those.
That's $2.99 for those, but you can't get the Cocoa Pebbles one in that size.
So if anybody happens to locate the Cocoa Pebbles or the Fruity Pebbles ice cream, that I think could be a good food fight.
Yeah, it looks pretty, and I bet you it's good. You know what I think? I think it's going to be bussin'.
Yeah, don't. That's old now.
What, I'm not allowed to say bussin'?
That's months old, Hudson. What are you doing? Were you
I'm
on
trying
TikTok
to keep up.
last night?
No, I saw it on the same site that we're reading.
awful.
So if you're accusing me of being outdated, then you're also accusing Food Beast of being outdated. And look at this person, Reach Guinto. You think they're out of date?
I do. And whoever I just didn't expect you to say that, not after talking about the ice cream.
That's exactly why I said it.
All right, so back to you guys help us out. Let us know if anybody notices the Fruity Pebbles or the Cocoa Pebbles ice cream, and that might be a food fight.
It could be a bussin' food fight.
A food fight. No.
The Riot RadioU.
It seems that we finally left all of the plagues of different bugs behind us here in the United States for most of the country. I don't know what the latest update is on all those gypsy moths.
Oh, and also the mayflies. Remember that?
I think mayflies are gone. I mean, they're come out in May and it's July now, so they should have all died.
I know that I saw a TikTok where it looked like an older couple were driving through what you thought was like rain, but it wasn't. It was mayflies, and they're just screaming like, "Is this the plague?" It's like, what is this?
It does seem like something otherworldly. It really does.
Do we have something new now?
Yeah, I do. It's in Russia. And it is actually a video that it looks like a tornado off in the distance. But as you're going through it, it is mosquitoes.
That's all mosquitoes?
A tornado of mosquitoes.
Oh, my gosh. Sci-fi's like, let's do this.
Yeah, right. Mosquito-nado. It's happening.
Oh, my gosh. It's so weird.
Yeah. You know why it's happening.
Why?
Because
what else is
mommy
there?
mosquito and a daddy mosquito.
It's that time again.
It's that time again. That's the only reason anything ever happens in the bug world.
I like how the local bug person was reassuring residents by saying there's nothing wrong here. There's just male mosquitoes who do not hunt warm-blooded animals, but they circle around one or the several females in the area. That's how they meet each other.
So there's one female mosquito right there, and there's a whole tornado.
That's intimidating.
She's got a lot on her plate right there.
Which to choose, right? Which to choose.
It's like a real life dating service, dating app.
They say that the mosquitoes kind of swarm together. It's a phenomenon, like pillars form around it, and that's it. Weird. It's so weird to see. It's so wrong.
I think I'd take the cicadas over that.
Yeah. Well,
the cicadas lasted a long time. We don't know how. Does the mosquito thing? Is this just a one in a million where they're really that bad?
Is this the date? So it only lasts like an hour or so? Or
yeah, right.
Like, what is that? But
yeah,
the mosquitoes.
She just
in
picks
Russia
one out, and then everybody kind of goes back to their own business.
They're like, "Gee, guys, she didn't pick us again."
Yeah, they have to go circle around. Then I feel like all the ones that got rejected, they continue swarming.
Oh, they go
until
find
they
another
go find another female.
He said he didn't dare open the car windows.
Of course not.
Driving through. So it basically looks like millions and millions of mosquitoes, like a tornado with them. But they say, don't worry. That's just there. And that's a phenomenon that happens
it says
other times.
That the males do not bite, but the females do.
Uh-oh.
So if you're
in a swarm.
Yeah, of course. You got to.
Remember how we were talking yesterday? People are so trying to get back into dating that we're Googling how to date. It's like the flies are doing the same.
Mosquitoes are doing
the same thing. Like, I don't know if we should be doing a tornado around her.
They
she might
into
not
Google.
Like us.
Now this is what you got to do. All the guys are out there circling the women.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. RadioU.
And Nikki has been very vocal that she doesn't want to watch the Olympics.
I never do. This isn't some sort of statement.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it's not about the Tokyo Olympics.
It's just you don't like them at all.
Well, that's a drastic statement. I mean, I like some parts of it, but I find some of it can be kind of boring.
Okay.
And
what, you think equestrian is boring?
I do some of it, or even more than that.
You think rowing is boring?
Yep.
Do you think?
Yes, all of it. Yes to all of it.
Soccer is boring?
And even outside of the Olympics, that can be boring too.
Yeah.
So I don't watch a lot of it. If I do, it's a clip here and there.
Yeah. I don't get into the majority of the Olympics, although there are the fringe sports that you only watch when the Olympics come around, like handball. I want to highly recommend watching handball during the Olympics. I think everybody will like it. Yeah.
I know a few friends who go through each day and they watch everything.
For the Olympics. Yeah. And that's, it's just fun. It's an event, it just gives you something going on.
Something to do.
There's not a lot else at this time of year.
But I like this part.
Yeah. But I was feeling that this might get Nikki into the Olympics because even though there's no spectators, no human spectators at the Olympics, there is bear spectators, evidently.
Did one get in the baseball, softball venue?
It was the Azuma Sports Park. This was early Tuesday morning. A guard found a bear. Now, I think the bear was inside the facilities as a whole, but it wasn't actually on the field of the baseball or softball fields. So, and I don't even know if there was any actual action going on at the moment, but there was a bear sighting. And so I love that they said they couldn't find or capture the bear at the end of the day.
That's right.
The bear managed to elude the entire contingent of guards at the facility while guards played loud music to scare off the bear. I can only assume if it's eluding all the guards that the music was the yakety sax. It's
to scare it. First off, amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Second, they were also setting off fireworks, too. Do you want to do fireworks?
No. I just yakety sax only. That's as far as I'll go.
Or we were watching the EAS alert system. Maybe they play that around it, but
man, that would freak it out. And that is an emergency for some people, at least. So is that it? Would you, if there was a promise of bears, would you watch Olympic softball?
No, but I would do my best to try to be there.
Oh, yeah, in person?
And to make sure to save the bear so he wasn't captured. Because they said police were involved. And when I first saw that, I was like, that's a bit much. Can't we do a game like a warden person or like a bear person? We don't have to bring the police into it.
Right. There should be some skilled professionals, like a park ranger or something, that can go escort the bear back to where he belongs.
And if you didn't know, in Japan, bear sightings are actually pretty common. There's lots of areas where there's lots of bears, and that's not the first time. He just happened to make his way into the baseball field.
They actually say that this is in part, they think. I mean, of course, a bear could just randomly show up there anyways, especially when there's no spectators to cause a lot of loud noise or whatever. But they say that the bears have been more frequently finding themselves in city centers and stuff like that, much like we experienced here in the U.S. during lockdowns.
Because people were inside.
Yeah, because there's been less cars on the road, less people out and about, and the bears feel a little more free to just go out and do their own thing.
Well, they want to celebrate the Olympics.
Yeah.
It's their area, too.
Come on. Which event can they compete in?
We'll see where else they show up.
They'd probably be really good at the weightlifting.
The Riot isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the Riot. RadioU.
Have you noticed how love is so transactional these days?
Oh, sure.
And some people are like, that's illegal. No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
Not like that.
But it's maybe is telling that I even thought of that. But it's true. Like, if you're thinking about your relationship, so many people, you say, why are you dating? Why are you with whoever you're with? And if the first thing you say is because they make me happy, that kind of right there is an indication that it's at least a little transactional. And what I mean by that is, like, you love them because what you say you love them because of what they do for you.
Sure.
Because they buy you nice things, because you like watching stuff, like just they're doing stuff for you that makes you happy. But the flip side of that is, if for some reason they were to change, or just for a whatever period of time, they stopped doing what it is that makes you happy, then you would stop loving them. But that's not what love really is. If you want to have a strong relationship, it should be you love them no matter how they make you feel all the time, because there's going to be moments in a relationship where they don't make you happy. And so love is more than that. It's loving somebody all the time, a big party.
Everybody.
It's loving somebody all the time, no matter how they are acting towards you at that moment, because in the grand scheme of things, you love them no matter what. And you can put up with a little bit of, they're not being super nice to me today because they're not making me happy today, because I still love them and I know who they really are. And that's the way God loves you. It's not a trade-off. It is not God loves you because you do this for him and you love God because he does this for you. Jesus wants to have a relationship where you love each other every single day. Jesus loves you because the truth is we can't do anything to make God love us. Like, we can't earn it. We can't do so much for God that he's like, wow, I just can't refuse to love you because you've done so much to help me out. Man, he's God. He doesn't need your help, but he loves you because you're you, because he knows who you really are, and he wants to have a relationship with you and help you through life because he loves you no matter what. And if you're ready for a relationship like that where you can't lose the love because you're not making God happy, you can't lose it. If you're ready for that, say, hey, God, I want you in my life. I want to find out more about what real love is. I want to find out from you. I want to be able to spread that into other areas of my life. God, start talking to me. Jesus, show me a better way to live. Show me what love is all about. And he will. And if you want to know more, you can start off at RadioU.com/free gift. That's a great place to get going.
We've done you a favor by selecting the best of the worst and compiling it all in one place. Riot Podcast, RadioU.
The Olympics start tomorrow, and while the United States and I guess all of the athletes, but here in the U.S. will be particularly cheering for our boys and girls in blue, red, white, and blue.
Nice.
You can be going for the gold at Chipotle.
Oh, what are they trying to do?
They are going to be wrapping up all of their burritos in gold foil.
Oh. It's not real gold, but
it's because normally, of course, Chipotle does the silver foil, but they're not going to be satisfied being second place, second best.
Not during this time.
So they're going to overtake Qdoba and the rest of the competition and go with gold foil.
Now, Hudson, they're going to run out of gold foil rather quickly.
Yeah, of course. And they're also going to charge extra for the gold foil.
And they're going to run out of the food that goes in the burrito in the gold foil.
Yep. And if they do happen to make your food, it's still going to sit there for 30 minutes while you patiently wait.
Now that's
and then
the
they're
Chipotle way.
That's the Chipotle we know. But it is happening. The gold foil. So maybe at least after it's all said and done, and after you've had all of that horrible Chipotle experience, at least you'll feel a little fancier when you finally get to take it home.
This isn't their first time. They did gold foil when they celebrated in 2011 their 18th anniversary. So they're doing this now.
Okay.
If you want to do the gold foil wrapped burrito, it's in person and digital orders starting tomorrow. So that's the official start, like the ceremony and the opening for the Olympics. And if you order digitally, they say through their app or online, you get no cost delivery from the 23rd to August 1st.
What a deal.
So maybe that's the same time that the gold foil will be running.
Yeah, hopefully that no cost delivery, that will motivate them even less to get your food to you hot and ready and on time. So
we don't want to be down on Chipotle, but it just seems like every time there's always something.
Yeah,
it's
honestly,
like the Olympics. Every time
we see a lot of bad stories come out of Chipotle. And I don't know about you, Nikki, but I know that I gave up on Chipotle a long time ago, so I haven't been there in years. So the truth is, even though there's a few bad news stories, that might not be indicative. Maybe the Chipotle here changed its ways, and I should go back and give it another chance. But
it could be fair.
Also, at the same time, I do know Chipotle's prices, and I know that I can find something that I'll be at least as happy with for a lot cheaper.
We can't afford the gold burritos.
No, we can't.
And it's hard because
we're just making Radio U money here, okay?
So the Chipotle near us, that's one of the worst. They always make a mistake on even your digital order.
Yep.
But then they opened one north that has like a real nice drive-through window, and they do pretty good. They do a little better.
Yeah. The Chipotle employees probably hate us, you think?
What do you mean?
Like we don't have any listeners that are Chipotle employees anymore because they're tired of us bashing them.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
I feel, Nikki, that when you shared this story with me, is this a cry for help?
What do you mean?
You added in, you wanted to talk about the story that says, What happens when you eat too many pickles?
That's not the story.
What?
Oh, why did that send it to you? It's talking about movie theaters in Texas and the surprise, like, #1 concession stand thing.
Okay.
Is pickles. Eating that at the movie theater when you're watching a movie.
That's the #1 thing in Texas.
A lot of people eat pickles and then
like those individually wrapped ones?
Yes.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so that's what the story was. What did I end up sending you,
sent
though?
me. Are you sure? Because you sent me a story that says, when you eat too many pickles, this is what happens. And I was like, is there something going on? I don't eat pickles at all, so I didn't think it was directed at me. I thought maybe this is something you struggle with, and you just wanted to share it with everyone to let them know.
I actually do really like pickles. And I'll take like pickles and I'll put, Costco has these really good kind of like gourmet ones. And you take them out and they're little, it's not like the whole pickle is just slices.
Okay.
And so I put like sriracha on it and make them spicy. And they're really, really good. But I promise you, it was about movie theaters. I promise.
Well, now we're talking about what happens when you eat too many pickles at the movie theater.
Maybe I should find out about it too, though, in case I am eating too many.
Yeah, well, here's the problem with eating too many pickles. Pickles contain a ton of salt.
They do.
In fact, a single dill pickle contains 2/3 of your recommended daily sodium intake.
That's why if you eat a lot of pickles, you're like, oh, energized.
Yeah.
Or I know a lot of people who are on keto who drink like pickle brine to get, would it be like electrolytes or just like the sodium to have enough salt?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But so eating 2 pickles. So let's say you ate 2 pickles. You're already over your recommended daily intake of sodium.
Oh, that's just recommended.
And so if you eat a lot of pickles, then the sodium can have detrimental health effects, particularly if you have high blood pressure or kidney issues. And let's see, if overeaten, the high sodium content in pickles can also lead to digestive issues like upset stomach, bloating, diarrhea, abdominal pain. So
it's just pickles, guys.
You need to cut back on the pickles, Nikki, so that you don't get diarrhea.
It's not me, it's Texas.
You and Texas and everyone with the pickles. Well, take it easy or you'll get diarrhea.
David, thanks for texting in. Said, try putting a pickle in honey mustard. Trust me, it's so good. I'll actually try that. That does sound good.
Yeah, that's your next project.
Okay.
All right, I just want to let you know we're not going to start doing pickle food fights on the RIOT.
Well, not even pickle chips or something fun?
Is that fun to you?
I think
is that
so.
What you think
I do
is
like
fun?
Pickles.
You mean like the deep fried ones, or
like
just like out of the
chips.
jar? Oh, pickle flavored chips.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do that. Is that
like
fun though?
Potato chips.
Yeah, not the veggie chips. Those are also out. So.
Well, I like pickles, but I don't think I eat too many of them. But whenever someone does have a problem, you don't know it yet.
Yeah.
You're the last one to find out. So I'll have to see. I'll go through this. What happens if you eat too many pickles?
I haven't noticed you eating too many pickles yet, but I will keep an eye out for you.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, yesterday we both admitted we don't know what's going on Netflix most of the time. We both have subscriptions.
I think that we probably do. It doesn't mean we watch it and we're not like just Netflix. Even I talked yesterday with someone about, should we cancel it? Like, are we really at that point? Because I'm just putting stuff in my playlist like to watch, but I'm not actually watching anything.
Yeah, well, you and I have talked about a show off the air that I want to make sure you watch, and then you can cancel it. And if you don't watch it this weekend, like you told me you will, then that means you have to cancel.
No,
That's the ultimatum right there.
I made a calendar invite for myself so I can make sure to watch this thing that he wants me to watch.
All right.
And no, you guys don't need to know what it is.
No, you don't. There's too much language in it for us to promote. Let's see. So I have here the list of what's on Netflix coming in August so that we actually are up to date on what's cool.
Well, I want to make sure I know what to not watch.
Right. What to add to your queue that you'll never get around to. Let's see. It looks like one of the big things that's coming next month is a movie called Beckett. It's a thriller movie starring John David Washington, who was in Black Klansman. Of course, that was his big role. And it's Denzel Washington's son.
Hey, that's cool.
Although he probably shouldn't be known that way. He's an actor in his own right. Yeah, he's his own man. So that's coming next month. There's also something called Sweet Girl with Jason Momoa, who is Aquaman. He's on a quest for vengeance. You wouldn't guess based off of the title.
No offense, Jason Momoa, but I think every script you get is you on a quest for vengeance.
He's always on a quest for vengeance. That's right.
Water or on land.
Let's see. The Kissing Booth 3.
Okay.
What were the first 2 Kissing Booths? Will I be able to watch Kissing Booth 3?
I don't know if you would like them.
You don't? You've seen the first 2?
I've only watched part of it.
And what is it?
I'm not claiming it's about a kissing booth. What do you think it is? The first
well, I don't
and the
know.
second
Sweet
one.
Girl is about Jason Momoa on a quest for vengeance.
It's about a quest for vengeance at the booth.
At the Kissing Booth. They've remade She's All That. Remember that movie?
Yeah, it's called He's All That, but you'd hate it because it's one of the TikTok famous people.
Yeah, probably would.
Hudson hates all that.
I don't like influencers, and I don't like
celebrities with it.
So I don't. No, I can be cool, Nikki. Maybe I would like Addison Rae. Is that a boy or a girl?
Oh, the girl. You wouldn't like her. I don't think you would.
Let's see. And not that it even matters. There's a whole season of sports documentaries called Untold. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is for you. Here you go.
I'm ready to clean, guys. I'm ready to organize.
Marie Kondo. Remember her? Was it early 20?
Hey, I read her book and I condoed before that show came out. Oh, yeah.
When did the show come out? Was it last year? Before the pandemic? Or was it even older than that?
I think it was older than that.
I remember it was right after, it was right into the new year, and it went along with everybody's New Year's resolutions.
And I remember when that thing came out and condoing became a thing, you would go outside on trash day and see everybody's throwing away all their stuff because they didn't want it anymore because it didn't spark anything.
Yeah, that was everybody's
she's got a new show.
Spark Joy. Yep, it's called Sparking Joy.
What day is that on?
Oh, man.
I want to set a reminder. It would be nice
if they just had... It's coming out in August.
August, okay.
I'm trying to find the actual date. Looks like it's... let me keep scrolling.
I'll find it. I'll look for it.
No, we need to know, everybody. We brought it up. It's like Chekhov's gun. We can't bring up
and not tell me the date.
Yeah, tell you the date. It obviously is very late because I'm to the 20th and it still hasn't come up yet. Augie. That ought to be good. Still scrolling. You know what? It might as well come out in September for all we care at this point.
Be all the way then.
Yeah. Yep, August 31st.
It's at the very end?
It is at the very end.
Oh, that's too bad. But
that was good content right there.
I'm ready.
Yes, so at least one thing, you have to keep your Netflix subscription. You could cancel it for all of August and reopen it on the 30th.
Oh, yeah, I could. Okay, I wish there was more. If not, I wish I was strong enough to cancel it.
Yeah.
That's what I sometimes get mad at myself for. I should just cancel it.
I think sometimes with the streaming services, we keep them around and it's like, well, I'll just keep it around for one more month and see if there's something I want on there, see if I wind up coming back to it.
Yeah.
What we should do is cancel them and then say, if I really miss it after a certain time, then I'll come back. And we wouldn't really miss any of them except HBO Max.
If you want something with vengeance, or if you want...
or if you want to spark joy.
Spark joy or more kissing booth.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
Then that's what you
on
get.
On Netflix.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
It is The Riot. Good morning. Welcome in with not just Nikki and I, but our special guest, friend of the show. Although it's the first time I'm getting to talk to him. It is Mike Maines.
Yay!
From Mike Maines and the Branches, of course.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
So are you you said Kansas? You're in some hotel room?
Some hotel room in Wichita, Kansas with a beautiful painted window here that I'm staring out of.
Well, may I suggest everybody hop on to RadioU Riot real quick on our Facebook page, because when I first saw it, I thought there was a window next to you, but you're saying that's just painted? There's no real one?
No real window.
Are you in
real window?
Are you in a basement? Is that why they had to do that?
Even stranger, we're on the second floor, and I thought, we're on the second floor. Why? They must have really had to cut costs back.
Oh my gosh,
Mike! What you got to find out is you got to go around to the hotel, because what is on the other wall must be so bad that there's no window for you to even get. Like, what's back there? You need to find out.
So, what has you in Wichita, Kansas, in the first place?
So we are driving back. Shannon and I took a vacation, and we're kind of taking a road trip back home through Wichita, go to Memphis, and then we'll be home by Tuesday.
Oh,
just
kind
of doing a little some pit stops. We're gonna go to Oklahoma City today. We were on tour there a couple of weeks ago, and we had a day off, and we thought, how is Oklahoma City so cool? No shade at Oklahoma City. We just didn't realize. We had no idea. It was like kind of. It had this Austin, Texas feel to it, which was like very artistic, a little bit of grit, and we thought, okay, this is our spot, you know. So we're gonna stop through there. I think we're going to the zoo later today. So I'm gonna see about a grizzly bear.
Actually, there's no real zoo. It's just all painted on walls there, too. So you're just going to be disappointed. You're not getting that. Well, we're talking
I want to definitely get my money back.
I know. We're talking to Mike from Mike Mains and the Branches. So for when you go out to tour, because you guys tour so often, I mean, getting back into it, but do you ever go to a city and you're like, oh, I want to go back and actually visit here on a vacation because it is so neat? Because you only get to see so much when you're playing a show at night.
Absolutely. One of the cities that we really want to go back to is Portland, Oregon. That's a city I get to take in a little more of the city than the rest of our bandmates because I really enjoy running on tour. So we'll load in, sound check, and I'll throw my running shoes on and run around the city. So that's a nice way to take a little bit more in. But you're absolutely right. It's difficult. You're working. So Portland's a place we'd really love to get back to. I'd love to get back to Austin again, and then Oklahoma City this trip, just because it was such a surprise. Again, everyone in Oklahoma City is going to hate me for saying that. But, it was really, really cool.
Well, make sure you listen or looking around, Oklahoma City listeners, for Radio U to see Mike running around.
Yeah, you're going to find people spotting you at the zoo now.
Yeah,
they're going to come not to see the animals. They're going to try to catch you guys.
Well, for Mike Mains and the Branches, coming back for Radio U Ohio listeners, it has been too long, but Mike Mains will be coming back on August 20th to Columbus. So if people want details on that, definitely check out RadioU.com. Is it weird to be back to finally playing shows and traveling and getting back out on the road?
It's been insane. We just finished this backyard tour, and then Switchfoot asked us to play a show with them last weekend, which was absolutely crazy. So we jumped on a plane and did that, and it was just a complete whirlwind. And in doing that and talking with John and those guys, and it feels like everyone is in this headspace of we kind of can't believe that we're playing shows. It feels like a dream, and because of the way that everything happened during the beginning of the pandemic, we're sort of waiting for the shoe to drop, but also just really glad to be playing.
Yeah.
And I picked up that from those guys, just this re-energized love for playing live, and for us, we just feel deeply grateful that people still want to come to shows and experience it. I think we've all just been a little cooped up for too long.
Yeah. Got to get back out there. Well, I was talking to someone. They were like, oh, then it must be so nice for bands to just have a break. But with how long that break was, I don't think people realize that, bands, that's the life. That's that touring. That's getting out and connecting with fans. And they thought it was nice to have such a long break. But I think for bands, like, you have to get back out there and do that to connect with people and play the music. And that was going on longer than everybody kind of thought it would. So it's just so nice to see everybody doing shows again.
Yeah, I'm grateful, and like you said, Nikki, I mean, for us, that the part where we're able to connect, to share our songs and talk about where the songs came from and meet people during the show, those are easy ways to kind of measure your impact, which I guess I realized that maybe one of the reasons that I got into this business is I need affirmation.
DJs are no different.
Yeah, we're right there with you.
So it's just good to know that you're making an impact. It's easy to get pretty introspective and in your head, especially the way that it's been for us all the last 15 months or so.
So you've got the show coming up in Columbus. That's on August 20th. And what other plans do you have going forward, or is everything just kind of out in the open, or are you flying in the wind?
More trips to the zoo,
Yeah,
or
right.
just more vacations or any other shows?
You can find me at this window staring out at the birds.
But nobody will be able to see in. So
I still love that window.
We're finishing up our We're finishing up our next album, and that'll be done in the end of August. We're probably going to be releasing a new single before the end of the year, which I'm extremely excited about. And then everyone can expect a new album from us by probably spring of 2022.
Yay.
There we go.
Well, for Mike Maines and the Branches, we say this every time we talk with them, and Shannon as well. Just amazing in concert. Like, they just bring so much to their songs, and then when you get a chance to see them in person. So for RadioU Ohio, don't forget that show's on August 20th. For Oklahoma City, don't forget the zoo. Don't forget all the chances to see Mike Maines and the Branches. And then we are super excited about hearing new music, too. We cannot wait. So
Thank y'all so much.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have a chance to hear that soon.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.